I don't think I ever heard someone hold on to a crush for 20 years. So I have a feeling this story is going to get extremely uncomfortable. I'm Alice King, your official Reddit baddie. Grab a snack, get comfortable, and enjoy the chaos. I accidentally ran a 20-year social experiment on a man who never stopped being in love with me. I won't be around for the 40-year follow-up. That's a crazy title. I'm so excited. I have been a YouTube fan for a while and I did not know this existed or you could post here. Someone sent it to me and said chaos follows you and should probably share. Your story ended up in the perfect place. Chaos is the backbone of this channel. About 20 years ago, I stopped talking to a man because something about the situation felt off. Not dangerous, not dramatic, just off. Even back then, it felt like he wasn't getting to know me.
Wait a minute! Who are you?
It felt like he was getting attached to an idea of me. We went out on 2 dates and then he would message me constantly. Random things like the texture of chicken nuggets. That is random indeed. Today's hot take: I think McDonald's chicken nuggets are overrated.
How dare you!
Or just have conversation with himself on my phone. I had to get others to intervene to get him to leave me alone. The situation is really familiar to me. I knew a guy like this and we dated for years, but he didn't love me. He was obsessed with me.
I was like, why are you so obsessed with me?
I mean, I would assume he didn't love me since he was physically abusive, but at the same time, he wasn't willing to let me go. I will never forget the time he came across the bar like the T-1000 pushing his girlfriend aside to come and speak with me. Wait a moment. So he was in a relationship with someone else? I actually had to hide from him at work because it was so unbearable to be around him. He needed constant attention and if he was not getting it, he would create it through my phone. I know you said it wasn't dangerous, but this sounds like it could have slipped into that direction very easily. I was beyond annoyed every time I looked at my phone there was 20 plus messages. I was young and didn't have the words for it, so I did what most people do when a relationship feels uncomfortable. I moved on.
Love that!
And that could have easily fixed the situation 20 years ago. Today, I'm not so sure about that. And I really moved on. I built a life, I got married, I had a family.
Yes. Yes, you should.
I had successes, failures, heartbreaks, milestones, and all the things that happen when 2 decades pass. In short, I became an entirely different person than the girl he briefly knew all those years ago who worked at the video game store. I never even really thought of him at all.
Duh.
Obviously, why would you? You didn't even date this guy properly. Then this year, after roughly 20 years of no contact, I accepted a friend request. Not the friend request. Big mistake. Huge mistake.
Big mistake. Big. Huge.
I honestly thought it would be a normal catch-up. You know the type. How have you been? What have you been up to? Wow, life really flies. Instead, I quickly realized something unsettling. He wasn't reconnecting with me. He was reconnecting with the version of me he had apparently been carrying around in his head for 20 years. And she was alive and well.
So scary.
Within a short period of time, I started getting long messages, random information, constant communication, observations about my personality and looks, assumptions about my feelings, and comments that suggested he believed he understood me on a deep level. Might I add, liking 20 years of social media posts as well, also thinking every snap story was meant for him.
Terrified, slightly nervous, scared, a lot of mixed emotions.
He is definitely obsessed with you, and it's really not easy to deal with a situation like that. I just hope he doesn't know your address. The problem, he didn't know me at all. How could he? We hadn't spoken in 20 years. The woman he thought he knew existed only in his imagination, and that's what it makes it so scary. It's not about you, it's about his delusions. What fascinated me was how resistant the image was to reality. Reality said I was married. Reality said I had built a family. Reality said I had an entire life that happened while he wasn't there. Reality said I wasn't the same person anymore. Yet, none of those facts seemed capable of competing with the story he'd been telling himself. It was like watching someone spend 20 years writing a book and then becoming frustrated when the actual person didn't follow the script.
Why don't you love me?
And And that's exactly what it is. He is demanding of you to be the person he imagined. He doesn't care who you really are. He would send up to 40 messages a day across multiple platforms. He wanted constant attention and needed it, sending me videos of his mother who he lives with and is nearly 50. He would pretend to not mean to send me something like his P-test result for work, then proceed to tell me all about them, or a general email sent to everyone in his trade was specifically meant to him. It was constantly trying to make himself seem more important or interesting. But I am married and he knows this, so I really thought this was so weird to do.
Well, yeah.
He doesn't care about that. He expects you to leave your husband for him. I actually kept screenshots and screen captures to record what I was seeing. Good idea. They will be very useful on court.
You and I understand each other.
Somehow I feel like this story will end with a restraining order. The more we, or should I say he, talked, the more I remembered exactly why I had walked away all those years ago. The same discomfort, the same feeling of being observed rather than understood. The same sense that he was interacting with a character instead of a human being. And then it hit me. This wasn't a reunion. This was the conclusion of a 20-year experiment. The experiment was simple. If someone falls in love with a version of you that exists only in their head, can reality ever compete with the fantasy? My conclusion? Not always. Sometimes people become so attached to the story they've written that they stop being curious about the actual person. He should have been stopped being curious about you in the moment he realized you were married. He didn't show up to be your friend. He wanted the version he imagined for himself. He didn't care about the reality at all. And that is so scary. And once that happens, there is really nowhere for the relationship to go. It was like if he stayed in communication, there maybe was a chance. Like the Dumb and Dumber 1 in a million chance thought process. So I decided I won't be participating in the 40-year follow-up study.
Run. I would say run.
That's probably for the best, because I am scared for your safety. The experiment has concluded. The data has been collected, the findings are clear. Reality was presented repeatedly over a 20-year period and the hypothesis remained unchanged. I wish him well genuinely, but after reconnecting, I realized something important. You can't build a relationship with a memory. You can't build a relationship with a fantasy. And you definitely can't build one with someone you spent 20 years imagining instead of knowing. Who I was then and now are two completely different people than what it is in his mind. Of course it is. 20 years passed since you guys knew each other. Has anyone else reconnected with someone after decades only to realize they weren't in love with you? They were in love with a version of you that never actually existed. No, because I don't see the point to drag the past into my present. The only person who could be a candidate for this assumption, I would never, ever would talk to him again.
Why is that not a surprise?
So no, stop caring about your past and start living in your present. I have no idea who you are at a class reunion. My high school class had our 25th reunion over Labor Day weekend. We hadn't managed to put together a reunion since our sparsely attended 5-year. We went to a small college prep school. Our class had 72 kids where everybody knew each other, and because it was small, you could bounce between activities, so there weren't a lot of cliques.
The clique.
It's funny how times changed since then. I graduated from 2022 from my first uni. There was 32 people in the class and it was so cliquey. Some of the people never ever talked to each other.
Clique.
I finished another college last year, which was online. I don't even know who my classmates were. I only met some of the people on graduation day. High school was mostly fine for my best friend John. Names changed and I, except for one guy named Tom who wasn't much as a bully as much as just a general jerk to the smarter kids in the class. He constantly made jokes at our expense and pranked us with things like creating a bunch of fake invites to a fake party at my parents' house, or starting a rumor that he had seen John kissing a girl who was a lesbian. Sounds like a bully to me. John founded a company in his late 20s and has done very well for himself. I love that for John. He, and to some extent myself, had raised a lot of money for local charity over the years, and recently he spearheaded the construction of a STEM center to be jointly run by several area schools including our high school. His name got put on the building. This has given him a pretty public profile and made him somewhat locally famous. Yes, his parents had some money, but he has far outpaced them. His company has a marketing assistant that has helped get his name in the news, including being featured by a high school's alumni newsletter and social media.
Oh my god, I'm so famous.
Give a raise for that marketing assistant. They also manage his social media accounts he gave up a few years ago due to time and professionalism. All this has nothing to do with ego. He's an awesome guy but knows that his company's profile and revenue has risen with / because of his personal profile. Tom has since college always been kind of a flashy, self-promoting, grifter / get-rich-quick guy. Because of social media, I know he first tried to be a white rapper / DJ in the early 2000s. Then has bounced from car sales to some real estate investing thing that sounded like mortgage fraud. I'm in construction and RE, so I can recognize that crap, to some PA sounding investment group, and now he has some crypto bro thing going on. Throughout the years, he has heavily promoted himself on social media and even tried to do the whole pay me to teach you investment strategy thing.
Ew.
He even DM'd me several times with investment opportunities, to which I never responded. I see, so basically he scams other people for a living. It's giving pyramid scheme, it's giving #blessed. Fast forward to last weekend. John hosted a part of the reunion at his house / barn. He has several acres, about 50 alumni plus spouses, and probably 20 kids showed up. John and I, our spouses, and a few friends pretty much camped out on chairs on a side patio and mostly didn't bother to mingle. We were all drinking and catching up. Mid-evening, Tom came over to us to glad hand John. John stayed calm and exchanged general pleasantries, but quickly Tom launched into some BS. You know, you have done well, but you could make a lot more money in crypto. John interrupted him with, "I'm sorry, I didn't catch who you are here with. Is your wife one of our classmates?" John is a classy act. You could tell Tom was a bit taken aback. "No man, I'm Tom blank. We were classmates. Don't you remember I used to razz you?" John scratched his head and said, "Not really. I think I have a pretty good memory of our class, but I don't remember you at all."
Talo. Sorry.
Yikes, that is a checkmate for Tom. Then John got serious while giving a small wave to the event planner Ashley nearby. "Listen, I get approached all the time like this because of my business. I get it, but this is my home and a private event." Then looking at Ashley, "Hey, can you take a moment to verify the guest list? I'm not sure what's going on here. Thanks." Ashley then addressed Tom while giving him a big fake smile. "Right this way, sir. We just need to verify your ID against the guest list. I'm sorry, I hope you understand." Tom followed her off in a bit of a huff. "I would pay to see this situation unfold." John sat back down while giving me a wink and then said to the group, "It's unfortunate, I have to be careful." Someone else piped up, "Yeah, that was Tom. He was in our class." He was? Oh well, he seemed like a crypto bro. And John just needed to be careful. John kinda shrugged and said, must not have interacted with him much, then changed the subject. 20 or so minutes later, Tom returned with a classmate who had largely organized the weekend and had been friends with him in high school. Wow, he came back after that? I guess some people has no shame. She said, "I hear you said you don't remember Tom. He was in our class for all 4 years. He helped on the football team." John again shrugged and said, "I'm sorry, sometimes people just fail to leave an impression on me. I hope you enjoy my home and have a lovely weekend." At that, he turned to his wife and said, "Now let's go, check on the important people, make sure the kids are having fun." If you missed this, the kids are the important people. John texted me a few minutes later. That was fun. This was fun indeed, and this is why people say success is the best revenge. I hope you guys enjoyed today's stories. If you did, don't forget to subscribe. Leave your thoughts in the comments. I reply them all. Thanks for watching and see you in the next one.